What's the best vehicle for communicating? Well, all of them, and repeating all of them, and using the one that you are most comfortable with. If you're most comfortable calling someone on the telephone and you're a phone person and you like to talk on the phone, then that's probably the best one for you. If it's speaking to them in the hallway, going in or going out, that may be the best. Maybe you're a great email writer. Maybe you're a great letter writer. The best vehicle is the one that works for you. Information should I relay, and who needs to know? The people who need to know are your legislators, your state representatives and your state senators, and the governor's office. They need to know that you are in favor of abolition. I have had several legislators tell me, despite my own personal feelings that perhaps we should have the death penalty, I'm going to vote according to what my constituents want me to do. And so they need to hear from you. They may even overcome their own tendency to vote to keep the death penalty if enough people in their district tell them, this is what we want you to do. We want abolition. And what else can I or others I know do to help? Again, the concept to be the district, those are the people the legislators listen to. You are of critical importance. Strongly. And this last slide gives my name and my phone number. That's my cell phone number. I have it with me all the time. Jennifer Basinger is our organizer in Wichita, and that's her number. Kristen is with us in the Topeka area and covers from the state line to the state line on the eastern side of the state. Mike Fonkert is our organizer in the Kansas City area, Johnson and Wyandotte County. Don't hesitate to contact Mike. Maria, who's on the call today, on the webinar today, is our administrative coordinator in the office, a very key person who can find any of us, send you materials, get information to you. There's our main phone number there and our P.O. box address. And then, of course, listing Donna and Carolyn, who are our, Donna's our board chair and Carolyn is our lobbyist. And any of those folks put you in touch with any of by email or telephone. And if you need anything at all to start that drumbeat and keep it going, let us know. And I'd just like to thank everybody for their time this morning and for sitting in with us and getting this information. I think we have a couple of questions here at the end.
Yeah, we do. So one comes from Frances, and she says there's a forum coming up in April in Sedgwick County, and she would like to distribute the fact sheet and speak about the House bill that's been introduced. So she wants to know if she can have some of the information from today via email.
I think we could make that happen.
Yeah, I think we'll send it to everybody who participated. And then also, just so you know, the webinar, there's a recording of it that will be put up on the KCADP website that you can go back and look through again. Elaine also has a question. So go ahead and try to ask your question over the phone.
Well, what is the most effective way if this is the case? If you actually didn't vote for your legislator and they check you out and find out that you didn't and won't meet with you. Sometimes I found it's helpful if you just come with someone who does know your legislator and who says, I don't know much about this topic, but here she is and she wants to tell you something briefly. So that's how I get around it.
Mary or Jeremy, do you have anything to add about dealing with legislators that might not be as friendly?
Laura, do you have anything? I mean, I think I've said it before, it's just a matter of keeping the dialogue open and really listening to them. I do like the thing of if you have someone else to bring, that's a good start.
Yeah. If you happen to, that's a great thing of getting intelligence and knowing who knows them, because we're always just much more comfortable to listen to people who we have a connection with or we have a relationship for some reason. So if you can partner up with somebody that they're familiar with, even if they're listening as well, instead of necessarily, ideally, they're advocating. And you can go together and expand your reach. But that's a good idea, and figuring out who those folks are is really helpful.
I think also if you do live in their district, the first thing you should say is, "I live in your district." Yes, election, but of course we have a secret ballot, so they won't know how you voted. But if you live in their district, you're a potential voter, and they care about your opinion. And one of the other things that I have found is that, sometimes they may be a little unwilling to see you. I would suggest to cultivate their office staff person. If you can talk to that office staff person and establish a rapport, your chances of being able to have a meeting with that legislator are better. And the good thing to do once you first get there is establish something that you have in common when you talk with them. Check them out. Look at their website. Check first. And as you establish that rapport because you both went to K-State or you both went to the same high school, or you've read similar books or listened to similar music, or your kids went to school together, about that and sort of warm up the conversation, then you can move on to the reason that you came was to discuss abolition. So if any of that is helpful, I hope that will be helpful. Persistence, and cultivate the office staff, and try to communicate if you can. And if you're talking to people where you live in their district, all the better. They're pretty much willing to see their constituents. If it's someone that you don't live in their district, that might be a little bit harder.
All right, well, let's do one last call for questions. And if you have one, you can just sort of type, "I have a question," and I'll just take you off mute and let you ask it yourself.
Well, I'm not seeing or hearing any additional questions, but I certainly want to thank everyone for your time today and for being our stalwart supporters and giving your Saturday morning to attend the webinar. And I want to thank you and look forward to working with you to repeal the death penalty in Kansas.